Hi, I'm Deborah from Kitchen Sense and Information, and today we're going to continue with the topic of COVID and cleaning, and we're going to look at how to keep your food safe and your home safe. For example, do you wash your groceries? Do you wonder if you should wash your groceries? What about takeout? Should you wash the takeout containers when you come home? What about delivery? How do you handle that? We're going to look at the recommendations from the Canadian government and also my research on the pros and cons around all these questions. Welcome back to my channel, and if you haven't done it, check out my new blog at thedailybasil.com, and there you will find the written content that goes along with these videos. So when I was a quality and safety manager in food plants, one of my responsibilities was contamination control, developing contamination control plans and maintaining them, and if something happened, making sure that everything we did to control and stop the contamination was adequate to make sure that the food was safe and the employees were safe. Well, what kind of contamination? Bacteria, viruses, body fluids, air. So from this working in food plants, I developed experience in contamination control. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an infectious disease specialist, but I still have a lot of knowledge and experience of contamination control with viruses and other things that can make people sick from all my years in food plants. And I just wanted to share that background with you and give you my take on all the information we're getting on what we need to do or not do to be safe in our home with COVID, coronavirus, the pandemic all around us. So what does the Canadian government say about takeout food and packages coming into your home? And this is the same information put out also in the US by the CDC and other reputable news organizations across North America. So first of all, you should try to pay for anything that you've purchased online. That way you don't have to pay at the door, you don't have to take a machine, or you don't have to get close to handle cash. So try as much as possible to pay online beforehand. If you can't do that, then try to use a contactless form of payment, like you tap with your card or you tap with your phone. And as a last case, you're going to pay with cash, but you should both be wearing masks because you have to get close to the delivery person, or you take the machine into your hand, insert your card, and use the buttons. But that would be the absolutely last way to pay. And if you do pay that way, then you should immediately go wash your hands. Tip number 2 is keep at least a 2 meter 6 feet distance from the person doing the delivery. If they can leave the packages or food at your door, ring your doorbell, and then they get a distance away from the doorbell and you go bring it into the house. That's the best. Tip number 3 is wash your hands after you've handled the food or the delivery, anything that's being delivered and you're bringing it into your house. Tip number 4, put away all the groceries and wash your hands again. So that's what the Canadian government suggests for safe deliveries. However, the Mayo Clinic in the US has some extra suggestions. They suggest that if you're bringing takeout food into the home, either you're bringing it in or you're having it delivered, bring the containers into your kitchen and put the food on a clean plate with clean cutlery, then wash your hands. So they're saying do not eat from the takeout containers, which I think is a really good suggestion to add to that list. And make sure that after handling any kind of packaged takeout container food, anything that's been delivered to your home, you wash your hands before you do anything else, and do not touch your face during this whole process of bringing the stuff into the house and either getting it onto a plate or putting it away. I also, if it's not food, but if it's some other package I'm getting delivered, I just let it sit at my door for 2 or 3 days. I bring the box in, it sits at the door, and unless I urgently need it, I don't touch it, I just leave it there. That would be another tip that I would add to the list. In the videos I've done so far, and today, I've said, do we need to wash our groceries? Well, every website from a government or from an expert or from a reputable news organization that I've consulted says it is not necessary to wash your groceries. The chances of catching coronavirus COVID-19 from a surface are really slim, and for that reason, as long as you follow the proper hand washing tips and cleaning tips, you are very unlikely to contaminate yourself. So there was some research that was done in laboratories in March that was reported in the National Institute of Health in March and in the New England Journal of Medicine in April that looked at how long does COVID-19 coronavirus live on a surface. And they found that for cardboard, it will be up to 24 hours, for copper up to 4 hours, and for plastic and stainless steel up to 3 days. However, This was a laboratory test. It was not conditions like we have in our home. They could control the temperature, they could control the humidity, and they put a lot of virus on the surface. So what the experts are saying now is that the chances of any coronavirus being on a package or groceries are slim. If there is some viral material on a surface, it's not going to be a lot, and it's not going to survive very long. So really, the recent research shows that it's not a likely source of contamination. It's not completely impossible, but it's not your highest risk situation. And they don't feel that it's warranted to tell people that you have to wash your groceries or have to wash packages that come in the house. However, that is contingent upon the fact that you follow all the guidelines I've covered in this video and the previous 2 videos, meaning you wash your hands at the times when you should. You wash your hands after you touch something. You wash your hands after you come back from the grocery store. You wash your hands after you bring your groceries in. You wash your hands after you put your groceries away. So the hand washing part is really important and frequent, not just do it once and then that's it for the rest of the day. No. With groceries or with food, you should be doing it several times. Anytime you're touching something that could potentially be contaminated, you should wash your hands. And you need to make sure you don't touch your face, your nose, your eyes, your mouth during the time that you are plating the food or putting away the groceries or dealing with the packages, whatever they are. So those are the recommendations from the experts. You do not need to wash your groceries. You do not need to wash boxes or takeout containers that come into your house, but you do need to make sure you don't touch your face while you're dealing with these items. You need to make sure you wash your hands afterwards and multiple times. And the Canadian government also recommends that when you're finished dealing with takeout food, packages, or groceries, you wash all the surfaces. I know there are people that want to wash their groceries. It makes them feel safer. It makes them feel less anxious about bringing these outside items into the home, and I completely understand that. So I'm not telling you not to do it. It's an individual choice. I just want to present the information from people that are experts in infection control, and this is what they're saying, is that it's not necessary to do. But if it really helps you deal with your anxiety, go ahead and do it, with one exception. Fruits, vegetables, and produce should be washed under running water. And if it's a fruit, say with a hard rind, you can also use a clean scrub brush. But other than that, you shouldn't need to wash cans and boxes and other things that come into your home. So I hope you found this information helpful. If you do, click the like button and subscribe to my channel. There's more information coming every week, Monday at 10 a.m. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next week. As long as you wash your hands, anytime you've touched something that could according to doctors and governments and infectious disease specialists and the Mayo Clinic,